All right, all right, all right. Here we are back again with uh, match set number 2 of the day. We have on the blue side Lexi's Rat Emporium versus Dynasty Sapphire on the red. In the top lane,
Let's go!
in the top lane, we have Bussy General versus Ford. In the jungle, we have Jordan versus Krell. In mid lane, it's the Last Shyvana versus Empress of Blades. And in the bot lane, we have Your Bad Connection and Stevie Wonders versus Prey X3 and String Theocracy. I am joined today by Chicken the Wing, otherwise known as Caleb.
Hello.
And we are about to get into this game. We already got some bans coming through. We have Irelia taken away from Empress of Blades. We have the Ashe ban following
Jordan
suit.
fans!
We have Maokai followed in the very next ban. Tristana is to be answered by Dynasty Sapphire. It looks like Dynasty Sapphire is really focused on getting these bot laners off of Your Bad Connection. The highest ranked member on their team and possibly the highest ranked member in BTL.
Oh, really? What rank is he?
Masters. I don't know. I think that's like the highest. So we do have a rel
When
ban
did that happen?
coming from LRE. I think they were masters last season too.
Nah, he's been holding back. He's been wanting to play in BTL all this time, I guess.
And we got Jordan's Kindred locked in for first pick. Very, very powerful on her. She knows how to pilot the champion. She's been very good with it, and a lot of teams typically ban it from her. So we're gonna see how that plays out.
Jordan! Jordan fans!
We do have an Olaf hover in response, but it looks like it's going to be shipped over to Gragas. Gragas can be flexed into the top or jungle and even mid, so we're going to have to, can't really call where that's going to go too soon. We do have a Kai'Sa hover here, another solid pick, very good to blind pick, 80, or very strong blind pick ADC. So we do have some returning players here, Caleb. So what do you think of these? What do you think of these matchups that are about to play down? We've seen a lot of Lexi's Rat Emporium. They used to go by a different name, but all those members have been in BTL before. I'm seeing some new faces on Dynasty Sapphire though.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be a jungle gap. Lexi's Rat Emporium is just gonna win for free.
Well, you have that much faith in the Jordan. You're one of those Jordan
Who
stans.
doesn't? Who doesn't have that much faith in Jordan,
We do have a Jhin getting picked up in response to the Kai'Sa. Not the best matchup for Jhin. He kind of struggles against the Kai'Sa, especially once Kai'Sa gets that Q involved. So they're going to have to pair it with something nice, which looks like it could be a possible Vel'Koz support if that isn't mid Vel'Koz. And Jhin Vel'Koz is a very strong lane. It kind of works like the Xerath lane. You just kind of poke, 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 get him rooted, and kill. Thoughts, concerns, anything?
Zyra lane's always scary.
Yeah, that is.
So I mean, like if they lock that in, that's gonna be a decent amount of poke, even if that is a Vel'Koz bot lane.
Yeah, that is a Zyra locked in. That should be a Zyra support there. So based off what we've seen so far, both these bot lanes are going to be very focused on the poke ward. We could possibly be seeing an AP Kai'Sa or the hybrid build, which is lethality into AP. So a lot of action's going to be happening in this bot lane. I'm predicting a lot of deaths and a lot of people being shoved under tower over and over again. We do have
Who's gonna be the one dying, huh? Call that right now.
I can't. It really depends. If the Vel'Koz plays it right, I think Jhin Vel'Koz will have the advantage in lane. But if Vel'Koz isn't hitting his abilities, Kai'Sa and Zyra will have the upper hand.
That's if that's a Vel'Koz support.
Yeah. We do have a Ziggs ban coming on from Dynasty Sapphire, followed by the Yone ban, so they're starting to focus these mid lane picks. They're both predicting that the Vel'Koz is not going to be mid lane.
That's what they want you to think.
That is, it could be a great mind game here, but I haven't really seen a lot of Vel'Koz mids recently, so I will not be surprised.
I haven't either. That champion's kind of fallen out of the meta ever since, like, Syndra became just beast.
Yeah, we do have a Garen and a Malphite band to round out the comp. We do have a Scion Hover, very strong blind pickable top laner there, and he actually has a team to deal damage this time. So we're not gonna be seeing what we saw in the last series, where the Scion was just kind of tanky, but his team couldn't really do much. There's a lot of damage to be coming out, but that is going to be a Gragas jungle with the Scion locked in. If that is a Gragas mid, I guess I'll eat my words, but I haven't seen that champion play mid lane for eons.
It's a Scion mid.
We do have an Ornn answer for the Scion. So we're going to have a little bit of a wet noodle fight in the top lane. I think Ornn actually has the advantage here just because of his max HP damage that he gets from his brittle passive. But both those top laners are very strong.
Yeah, I guess so. I think Scion's gonna provide more tank value in the late game, but I mean Ornn's gonna just give away ornaments for free.
Ornaments. We do have a Xerath locked in for Lexi's Rat Emporium to round out the comp, so they're very gun-ho onto this poke comp. They're going to be wanting Dynasty Sapphire to be going in on them just so that they can kite back and absolutely tear away the HP bars. We do have a Kiana.
It's definitely going to be a damage gap this game.
Yeah, we do have a Kiana hover. If Kiana can actually get some early kills, this could be very detrimental for the Xerath. He won't be able to really be leaving his tower. And yes, he does have his ultimate to provide presence on the map. But when you're playing against a Kiana, if you're standing still and she knows where you're at, that is a lot of death coming your way.
Well, then don't stand still.
But Xerath has to stand still to ult.
Valid point.
And when Xerath ults, for some reason when Xerath ults, he's revealed. So I don't know why that's a thing, but
I mean, all you gotta do is go to the center of his circle.
True.
Even if it doesn't reveal him.
So now that we've seen both comps here, who are you gonna give the edge to here?
Well, I mean, LRE over there definitely has the more AIDS team. I definitely wouldn't want to play against that, but I think Dynasty Sapphire over there has better team fight in general because they just have a ton of AoE on their team. With the Kiana ult, with the Zyra ult, with the Scion ult, they have so many good ults over there. This would have been a great Sylas game for LRE.
Yeah, it really would have, but it's I mean honestly, Xerath's not a bad blind pick. If you're not predicting like a heavy AD assassin like the Kiana. I personally like Lexi's Rat Emporium's comp better. I do like the poke that they can dish out, and I am a very big Jhin connoisseur. He is one of my favorite champions, especially lore-wise. So I'm excited to see what your bad connection can do here and see if they can pop off.
So you're biased, hmm?
Yeah, for the Jhin. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war.
No, I can't. That's a good point actually. I didn't consider that.
Yeah, the thumb war advantage here. All right, we do have 20 people in the viewers chat. I want if you are in the chat and you are listening, please spam who you think won the draft here. I want to see the representation here for BTL.
From all 20 of you.
Yeah, so come on, give us some comments, give us something to work with here.
Oh, from all 18 of you.
Oh my God, we're losing people. No, it is pretty late, so that is a sad point. We are at 9 p.m. EST, and I think most of BTL members are on the East Coast, if I'm not mistaken. I am really excited to see Jordan getting her Kindred. I'm kind of surprised that they let that through. There was no jungle bans at all, except I guess the Graves ban for the last rotation. But giving a player like Jordan one of her signature champions can be quite detrimental. It's almost like the Belveth that we had last series, where you're just giving this champion to a player that knows how to pilot it, and it's one of those champions that can solo carry games.
Let's go, Jordan!
All right, we are 1 minute away from loading into the Rift. Do you have any final thoughts, concerns, comments before we swing it over to a break?
Good luck, teams.
All right. Well, we will catch you guys on the Rift once we are fully loaded in. Don't go anywhere.
Invincible. Back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown has just begun. Are you ready? Let's go.
Now we're back from the dead. We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
All right, we are officially in game one. LRE versus DS. Caleb, are you with me?
Man. Yeah, sir. This is gonna be a good one.
All right. Are you ready for the countdown?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, 11, 12,
Yep.
13. All right, here we are. Game number 1 of the third set of matches in BTL Season 15. We do have a standard 5-point coming out for both teams right now. So nothing too crazy is going to be happening. We do have Kindred marking her
Nah,
prey.
these guys are lined up like they're playing football. That's crazy.
We do have some pro LCS strats going on right now. Ooh, Stevie Wonder connecting the Q already onto the Kai'Sa. Good signs, good signs.
Plus 20, plus 20.
I don't know if any teammates were close enough for the plus 20. Nope, they were not.
Dang. Team gap, I guess. Help out my boy Stevie Wonder get his bags.
Minions have spawned.
Oh, Jordan has spotted the Gragas, getting some nice harass there. Gragas just gonna drink his beer and walk away.
I think you mean Craggy Ice.
Oh, my bad. I don't know what he's drinking, to be honest.
Mr. Lore over here doesn't even know what Gragas drinks.
So we have both junglers starting on the top side of the map. Neither of them back for an early sweeper, so these early wards are going to mean a lot more if they can get those junglers spotted.
I do believe that they both understand that they're both topside. I think that's a pretty easy conclusion to come to since they were both spotted up there.
Yeah. Ooh, we got some nice poke landing with the Vel'Koz. You can tell that Stevie Wonder is used to playing this champion.
Yeah. We're gonna have to see if we can get some action bot side since both junglers seem to be pathing that way.
Yeah.
Zyra. Ooh-wee.
Boom, the smack by the Ornn, getting that brittle damage in. Both have gone for Grasso and dying, so really is going to be a huge wet noodle fight up here.
Oh yeah. These guys are gonna be unstoppable. I don't believe anything could kill either of those demons.
Ooh, nice poke onto the Zyra. The Zyra's brought down, and the 4th shot goes through for first blood for the Jhin. Kai'Sa's being chased down, gets exhausted. She does have to heal. She does have flash. Oh, flash forward by the Jhin, and she survives with 1 HP. Oh, the snipe by the Jhin. That is a double kill going
That's
over.
that Masters gameplay we like to see.
Yes, sir. That is going to be both summoner spells and flash blown on the Zyra and the Kai'Sa in exchange for all summoner spells being blown on the side of Lexi's Rat Legion, or Emporium. They are starting to fight onto Gragas. Gragas flashes over, gets knocked up, and that is a mark going over to Kindred, and her mark spawns right on top of her. Talk about the RNG gods on Jordan's side. They just want her to win.
Everybody loves Jordan, okay? Jordan the GOAT.
Very strong start for the side of LRE. 3 kills to
Riot
none.
Games trembles when Jordan enters the Rift, Frostbyte, okay? Yeah, you gotta understand that, first of all. First of all.
And Burst of Blades taking some poke. She's going to struggle a little bit here until that ultimate is unlocked on Kiana. Ooh, Jordan is staying bot side. Maybe they're looking for a cheeky gank. They know they have no flashes. Oh, and Jordan is going to opt to back here. Do we? Oh,
Getting a top back, too.
do we know how fast the respawn rate of Kindred marks are?
Bro, I got no clue. Let's see.
We have the analyst chicken the wing, looking for the stats. Can he find them?
Yeah, it doesn't say in her stat description, in her passive description.
tragic. Ooh, nice engage on the Ornn, gets some poke down, gets that grasp of the Undying proc. And
Tavian
Kiana's...
knows it's 45 seconds.
All right.
Tavian, you're my goat.
Kindred is getting her 3rd mark. That is 3 confirmed marks for the Kindred, 1 away from that empowered auto attack range at 5 minutes. That is going to be absolutely insane.
They should definitely just look for that right away.
Who did Jordan move her mark to? Her mark, target. Oh, a flash forward by the Kiana with the ultimate onto the Xerath, gets him stunned up. The Kindred is here to help the Xerath. Xerath gets poked.
Dang.
Nothing.
Xerath didn't even have to burn flesh there.
Yeah, very well played there by the Jordan roam timer. It looks like Kiana is her next mark, so she's going to be looking at this mid a lot, trying to get that 4th mark.
I know I would.
Dragon has been started up for LRE. I don't think they can do much to stop this, so that should be first Dragon going over to LRE. It is going to be a Cloud Drake, so that's going to be a lot of more movement going around the map. Ornn ultimate goes down top lane, gets the knock up on the Scion, and the Ornn gets a solo kill on the Scion. That is the Ornn gap.
Ornn damage is a little crazy. Maybe consider not having tanks do your entire HP barn damage.
That's not right. Game's motto. Come on. I believe Riot's Games once posted damage creep isn't an issue. I think we just saw otherwise, so here we are.
I mean, do you have 200 years of game development experience?
Apparently not.
Nope, didn't think so. Gotta take everything they say with exceptional grace and stature, and just a sense of superiority over anything that Riot Games does to this game, okay? You gotta understand that. Got a little bit of a swap over here in the bottom mid.
Yeah, they're looking
to get the
Herald
Rift
pressure.
Herald.
Yeah, good movements by the side of LRE. They really do want this Rift Herald. The mark spawned right in front of Gragas, so that's going to be another mark denied, so Kindred won't quite be at 4. Zyra has started to move up. She's not too late to the fight. They have not started the Rift yet. They do also have a ward there, so they will know if anything crazy goes on. Kindred putting pings on the Rift. They are looking to start. Gragas is level 6 here, along with Kindred. If there's one thing good about this Gragas pick is that Kindred ulti doesn't really matter. Scion ults into the fight.
True.
Does not connect. Kindred ulti goes down, stuns the Kindred. Sorry, the Kiana ulti.
Oh.
Ornn is in there deep. He's trying to push people away. The Vel'Koz damage is going in hard. The Ghosty General does connect 1. Zyra is being pushed off. The Gen ultimate goes down, connects 1, connects 2, almost connects 3. Zyra does get knocked up. While Scion is trapped in the pit, that is going to be a solo kill for the Ornn, and Scion does go down to the Kindred. I believe Kindred
just said nope and went back bot.
Yeah, I believe Kindred got an assist on the Kiana there, so that's going to be the 4th mark going over to Kindred. Yep, so she does have her enhanced auto range.
That is quite the feat. Maybe she can get her 5th right now. Quick, hurry, hurry. Unlucky.
Crazy thing is Ornn doesn't have to back here. He's still going on HP. He can build his items. He has no fear.
You shouldn't have fear. That guy just buys his items under his turret. Buy a Warmog. You're there forever.
I don't think Warmog solo item is enough to get the passive there, but
maybe for you.
Jhin hits the root onto the Kai'Sa. The Kai'Sa W's forward onto the Jhin, and Zyra does push them away.
Huge poke.
We're seeing absolute beautiful gameplay coming out of LRE.
Oh yeah. We got another Kindred stack up. Maybe they can go for that. It's not looking like they'll be able to, but just keep stacking.
Yes, sir. Kindred is looking to drop the Herald mid, it looks like. So they're not really using the first tower, they're just trying to get plates onto Xerath here so that Xerath can have a little bit of easier time in the mid lane with that extra gold.
Push the lead.
That's going to be one plate by the Rift.
He actually didn't get any plates there. It was all
Root
Kindred.
from the Jhin downtown, harassing the Kiana.
He was not in range to get to any turret platings. Maybe he just knows. He just knows that Jordan needs it.
Sion is not. Ooh, Ornn has completed Radiant Virtue for their first item, so the Mythic is already complete. They are going on top of the Sion. The Call of the Forge God goes down. Does it connect? It does connect, but the Sion buffers it with his ultimate, and Ornn is trapped underneath the tower. Very well played by the Sion there to secure a shutdown.
Wow. That was very well played.
And that's going to be Dynasty Sapphire's first kill going over. Jhin ultimate pops. One shot lands, two shot lands. Can he hit the fourth? Oh, cannot sneak it by the Kai'Sa, so Zyra will get out with a smidgen of HP.
This Ornn may just be, not Ornn, this Sion may just become a bit of a problem here in the later game.
Yeah.
We've seen tanks just steamroll games before. I'm thinking maybe we can see it again.
But into Kindred, it's a little bit hard just because of what Kindred is able to do against tanks. She has very good kite potential and is one of those champions that just shreds tank. The second dragon is started up. They do know that they're on this because of that Rift Scuttle vision that was granted. But I don't think or Gragas can get close enough. That's going to be dragon going down. LRE secures the second dragon. They are on path to hit a 22-minute soul if they can keep the dragons up.
Fastest 4-stack Kindred and fastest Soul. Let's see it all in one game. World record pace. Someone call Guinness right now. Did you hear that Guinness doesn't do video game world records anymore?
I didn't even know they did video game world records to begin with.
Yeah, they used to, but they're like, they changed too much. I can't do it anymore. Can't keep up with the fast-paced gaming environment that we strive to exist in.
We are starting to see a lot of item completions on the side of LRE. 4 of the champions on the side of LRE already have their first item fully completed. Whereas Dynasty Sapphire only has 2 full items completed. Lots of pings going down on the map. Gragas is looking mid, potential gank with his ultimate.
I keep seeing that
We have a gank
Umbral
mid.
Kai'Sa build.
Xerath has to flash out. Yeah, the Umbral Kai'Sa build, the reason why you do it is it's because it's the most AD that you can get that is the cheapest and it allows for the quickest Q evolve. I believe Umbral Glaive is like 2800 and it gives 50 AD, and then you stack another serrated dirk on top of that, and that gets you 80 out of the 100 you need, but then you also get levels. So I believe at level 8 you get your full Q evolve. Or,
that makes sense.
She might need a longsword to complete the Q evolve though. Nice root, current call goes down, that's one connected. And we have a fight top lane, the Gragas, Jhin does secure the kill, and a Sion does get killed in response as well. So nice cross map plays. I can only assume that what happened in the bot lane was the current gall connecting onto the Zyra.
Yeah, it did. The Zyra was being a little funky, moving right and left around the Kai'Sa when she should not have.
Kindred's here, the stun lands onto the Kiana. The Kiana is invisible right now, but she has 3 marks on. She has to flash away. The Kindred, though, might get in range. Oh, nice dash over the wall, but it's not enough to get out of the Kindred range.
That was some fancy footwork, my guy.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
They're getting Herald now.
Yeah, that is going to be Herald's secured by the Kindred. Kindred should be at, no, she's still at 4 marks. I thought she got her 5th, but not quite. Zerath is teleporting into the bot lane, so it looks like we're going to have some lane swaps going on.
I'm also thinking we're gonna see another Kindred stack here on these Krugs.
Yeah, no one has cleared that out yet. Does she go for it?
Go, go, Kindred, go!
Doesn't
Vision gap, they don't know.
I mean, I think realistically speaking, Kindred only cares about securing the first 4. After that, it's just a bonus.
Hey, yeah, but those bonuses are pretty nice.
Kiana is here in the bush. They don't know that she's here. She might have enough burst damage to kill both these champions. She is 3 levels up.
I don't know.
Oh, Jin does spot the
She's
ward,
kinda-
with the ward though. Nice poke. The root does miss. The knockup also misses. Kiana being safe for now. Another Q connects. The curtain call goes down. One connects. The disintegration rate also goes down. 3 connects, and the 4th one does not connect for the kill. The Scion TP's behind them. The Jin tries to shoot the Deadly Floor forward and misses. The Scion gets knocked up. The Ornn TP is coming for the assistant. Does he have Call of the Forge God? He does get the double knock up here. Call of the Forge God goes down, knocks up the Scion while Jordan is chasing the rest of the team away. And that's just going to be a 1-0 in that bot lane skirmish. Or I guess team fight. It wasn't really a skirmish.
Yeah. I can't believe only 1 dropped.
They're looking for more. Scion is a little bit stuck
definitely
underneath the tower.
gonna see 1 more, this Scion.
The Herald goes down, Scion ults forward,
Oh.
and the Empress of Blades is right behind them with the Kiana. That is going to be a dead Vel'Koz. He can't get away from this. And they are diving. The Gragas gets low. The Deadly Flourish connects. That is a kill over on top of the Gragas. The Ornn goes forward to CC the Kaiser. The Kiana ulti goes down on top of the Jin. The Jin gets saved by the Kindred ultimate. He's saving 4th shot for the Kiana. And that's going to be another kill going over while Ornn is 1v2ing the enemy backline. Scion is low. Zyra gets caught out and dies to Jordan. And that's going to be
That was a really good
ace.
try at a comeback.
That was a full ace there. 7, 8,
That
7.5
was a really good TP from the Kiana.
Yeah, that was a good attempt by the side of Dynasty Sapphire. That's going to be the 3rd dragon going over to LRE. They are at soul points.
And that Kindred stack is still up.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody clear it, maybe?
I think Red is keeping it there purposely because it's probably the hardest one for Jordan to get, which is well played on
Jordan's
their
the
part.
GOAT. None of them are hard.
Oh, the stack just transferred somewhere. I guess somebody killed it. Jordan is now at 5 stacks.
Nobody killed it. It just reset.
Interesting.
It did switch over to the blue buff, which Gragas was in the middle of taking already.
Next objective on the map is going to be Baron. Spawns in 1 minute and 5 seconds. And LRE is in great position to force a fight there. They have the gold lead. They have the advantages in the dragon. And honestly, they have the comp advantage here right now. Kiana is trying to get a little bit of fancy work onto the Ornn, but Ornn just doesn't really care about the damage.
Yeah, they have more than just a comp advantage. They have 14 kills, almost 10k gold up. That's not all thanks to the comp.
I am predicting no way that Dynasty Sapphire gives Kindred over to Jordan again. She has shown once again.
Yeah,
that
probably not.
She has shown once again that she means business when she's on this champion.
She means business on every
All the
champion,
forward
though.
God
This is
goes down,
Jordan
the
we're
knockup
talking
does
about.
connect. The Zerath is there. Kiana has to flash out, but she doesn't have enough dashes to get away. That's going to kill going over to the Zerath. A nice pick right before Baron. They did have to use 2 pretty big ults, but I don't think that they're complaining.
They do have 2 down there though for the Baron.
Current call goes down. The first one connects. The second one connects. The third connects, and the fourth almost kills the Zyra. She has to back. She cannot stay in this fight any longer. They are putting pings onto the Baron. Xerath is rotating over. He just reset. Ornn is about to have teleport up. Sion is trying to do what he can in this lane, but I don't think that he's going to ever kill Ornn fast enough to make any difference. A TP comes down by the Kiana.
While they're doing that, they're gonna just sneak the Baron.
Yeah, Baron has been started. The Gragas does spot it with a cask. Xerath teleports over. He's here to aid the Ornn. I don't think he really needed to teleport over, but here we are. A stun lands onto the Kiana. The Sion ult goes down. It does connect onto the Ornn. Kiana
And
is
they're
looking.
stopping the Baron take.
Yeah, they did stop the Baron tank, but the Xerath damage is absolutely massive onto this tank. He has no MR quite yet. They can take this
They're
fight
doing
all
all
day.
they can to deny this objective bounty here on the turret.
Yeah, that's Sion being brought down to a quarter HP. The Kiana ult that
Oh.
goes wide, does not connect onto the wall. She gets stunned and bursted out by the Xerath and Ornn.
Oh, but they got more friends up there. Maybe a fight.
Yeah, Dragon is spawning in a minute 30. Xerath and Ornn are looking for a reset. They're looking for a potential dive. The root hits the Ornn. The Xerath gets stopped by the Zyra ultimate. So it is currently a 3v2 in this bot lane dive, but LRE's team is here and ready to react.
Yeah.
Good damage onto the Kaiser. The Call of the Forge God goes down. The knockup connects onto the Zyra. The Kindred kills the Zyra and the Kaiser when she tries to ult away, and that's going to be Soul. 1 minute on the spawn.
Maybe just a little bit late of a trigger pull there on the dive.
Yeah, I
They
think,
do it a little sooner, it definitely goes a lot better.
Yeah, I think they needed the Sion or the Kiana there to aid, but they just they
Or
both had
just
to
to
reset.
engage instead of sitting there and giving LRE time to get there and help out.
Yeah, Baron has been started by LRE. It's going to be super hard to contest this. Their Gragas is down. Sion is here to try to get some vision. But I don't think they're going to be able to get here fast enough. The Kiana does take this very fast. Kiana goes onto the Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz splashes away.
And this time it looks like they're gonna commit.
And there's no one here to steal it. That is going to be Baron going over to LRE.
Now let's see what they can get done.
They are going to reset
They're gonna
here.
back right before the Baron, or not the Baron, the Dragon.
Yeah, so they're going to get the reset in here for the Dragon. And don't be fooled, that is not a mountain soul. It is a Kimtech soul. I don't know why it's showing a mountain up on on the indicator, but that is in fact a Kimtech soul.
I'm seeing Chem take. Once again, Dynasty's just letting LRE have all the time in the world. They're not pressuring anything. They're not doing much to try and get back into the game here.
Yeah, I think they're honestly scared. It is 21-2 in terms of kills. They know they're
Very
down
true,
a massive
but
amount of
at
money.
this point they have to be taking risks to get back into the game if they want to win.
Yeah.
You can't just sit there on their thumb doing nothing.
That is going to be Kimtech Soul going over to LRE. For the viewers out there that don't know what Kimtech Soul does, when you hit 50% HP or lower, you get a 10% damage buff and a damage resistance.
So not the strongest in the game, but still not bad.
Ooh, Vel'Koz gets engaged on.
Dead
Vel'Koz
Vel'Koz.
gets killed by the Gragas and the Kai'Sa. Sion's ult does not connect. Curtain Call goes down. He tries to snipe that ult. The Gragas does miss. 2 shots hit. Oh, and Kai'Sa is dodging and weaving. The Call of the Forge God goes down, but gets sniped by the Xerath before he can even call it. Ornn gets stunned up by the Kiana, so no Call of the Forge God going on the way back. We're at an 11k gold lead right now, 24 minutes in. Baron and Soul are active.
They're just breaking towers, taking names, taking lives, taking the souls of their enemies, putting them in a jar, naming it Jerry with a label.
That's going to be mark number 6 going over to Kindred. Number 7 is when she gets her next upgrade of range.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So is the Jin living up to your standard, Frostbite?
Oh, 100%. Jin is there and making the plays. I think Dynasty Sapphire kind of disrespected the Kindred pick here. They thought the Gragas would be able to do enough in terms of her ultimate, but it's just the Gragas pick is not quite panning out the way that it normally should be.
Yeah, I don't think he's really doing a stand-up job of saving his ulti for the Kindred ult. There was a couple fights where he used it a little early just to get damage off. And guess what happens right after? The Kindred presses are. Gets to live for free.
Yep.
Damage doesn't really matter if you're sitting in a Kindred R.
I think Kim Texel is actually pretty good here for the side of LRE as well, because when that Kindred ultimate does go down, they are permanently stuck at 10% HP, so they're going to be getting that 10% damage buff.
Very true. That is a great point. Oh,
Warren is
maybe
kind of
caught a little bit here.
I don't know if taking
No.
2 damage there is the definition of getting caught. Xerath ulti goes down, does
Yeah.
connect 1, connects the second. Can he complete the kill? Does complete the kill onto the
there it
Kai'Sa.
is.
Gragas is being caught out a little bit. Xerath ulti to save him. He also had to use his explosive cast to get out as well. It is a 5v4. They have the split push going on. And they don't really have a... Oh, Sion ulti going in does not quite connect onto the Vel'Koz here.
It
Vel'Koz
connected.
gets engaged
Didn't
on
get the
by the
knockup, though.
Kiana. Kiana does secure the kill. Kiana ulti goes down, does
Okay.
stun the Jin. Jin
More
flashes
damage.
away.
Oh, the flash.
Ooh, Kiana getting absolutely nuked by the Xerath. Call the Forger God goes down and is connected onto the Kiana. Good prediction there by the Ornn. Xerath snipes his other kill. Current call goes down, gets the kill onto Sion. And that is going to be
Ford is hands off keyboard.
that is going to be a 2-4-1, and this should be an inhibitor tower going down. Xerath damage absolutely huge here. The Gen W goes out, connects onto the Zyra for the CC. Zyra flashes away. Another Xerath Q going down, nuking the HP of Kai'Sa with Kindred completing the kill. And this might be a game-ending push here if they decide to go for it.
Another dynasty has fallen.
That is first Nexus tower going down. They do have a minion wave still. This should be second Nexus tower
Inevitably,
going
somebody
down.
makes a pool of wine, and then boom, no more dynasty.
Yep. Xerath ulti goes out again, gets the kill onto the Zyra, and that is going to be game over.
Game number 1.
Game number 1 going in favor of LRE. Very well played there. I think Dynasty Sapphire has to respect the Kindred pick. That is one of Jordan's best champions in the next game looking forward. And they need a mental reset. They were down a lot this game. They just need to get a nice mental reset before going into game number 2. All right.
Absolutely.
We're going to swing it over to a break while we prepare for game number 2. Don't go anywhere.
We're back from the dead.
Are you ready? Let's go.
Back from the dead.
We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
from the dead.
What up?
All right, we are in the draft for game number 2 between LRE and Dynasty Sapphire. We do have an Ash Band coming out from Dynasty Sapphire, matched with an Irelia. So once again, Empress of Blades isn't going to be getting that what I can only presume to be a one trick.
I mean, it is literally in the name.
True. We do have a Tristana band coming out from DS as well. I'm hoping to see a Kindred band here. They gotta respect it unless they're planning to first pick it. And there's the hover on the band.
And is it going to be gone? There it is.
And that is
Bye-bye.
Jordan's Kindred once again pulled away from her, and possibly for the whole season.
You whipped it out once, Jordan. That was your first mistake.
But Jordan, don't be surprised. Jordan does have a very large plethora of champions that she can pull from, like the Amumu, like the Jarvan. So there's still a lot of great picks available here. The Misfortune hovered for first pick by DS. How do you feel if this gets locked in? Do you think Misfortune's really a blind pickable AD carry right now?
Oh, absolutely. I think she is so slept on. She does so much damage, it's so stupid. She walks up to you, presses Q auto, and then poof, your HP bar's gone.
That is going to be the Misfortune locked in, followed by a Graves. This time they left the Graves open instead of the Kindred. Another great champion that Jordan's very proficient on, and that was an instant lock there. So you already knew that Jordan was talking up that pick.
Oh yeah. Jordan can play anything, Frostbyte. Anything.
We do have a Vel'Koz coming in for that support pick once again. Stevie Wonders did play it very well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a Jhin locked in. They can honestly run the same comp back. It's just a little bit of a different jungler, but does the same thing.
Essentially. They're probably gonna play around their poke again, yeah. Oh, but a Hecarim might just throw a wrench in their plans. No poking if a Hecarim's sitting on top of you.
That is going to be Hecarim locked in, a very powerful jungler. He hasn't been quite on top of the pick ban list for a while because of champions like Kindred and Graves and Jarvan, but he is still very strong, so you got to really respect this champion. Nautilus for the hover in the support role from DS. If Nautilus can get on top of the Vel'Koz, it's going to be really rough for the Vel'Koz, but they are going to lose out on the poke war with that lock-in.
True, but who cares about poke when you're just hooking a Vel'Koz into his death?
I don't know. There are definitely some scenarios where if you get poked too much and take a bad hook, you will inadvertently die very fast.
Nope, I've never seen it.
Never, huh?
Never, not once. I've only seen good Nautiluses who are expert at their craft and go absolutely crazy when the time comes to land a hook. I've never seen one be missed.
We do have the Ezreal locked in instead of the Jhin, so it's still a poke-focused lane, but Ezreal does provide a little bit more safety, especially against hook champions, so you can buffer that E. We do have Malphite ban coming in for phase 2 of the banning. So LRE really does not want them to get on something that can just pull the trigger instantly. Makes them, force them to spend a little bit of time thinking about their engages. Ziggs is going to be the follow-up ban coming from DS. So taking away all the poke options. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Xerath ban here, to be honest.
Let's see it. The infinite range poke comp. Does the Xerath get removed? There are other options if Xerath does get banned. Like a Syndra pick wouldn't be bad pairing for their comp. Oh, but they banned the Garen.
Xerath is left open. And yes, I do agree Syndra would fit their comp well, but it doesn't quite provide the full-on poke that standard comps with the Vel'Koz and Ezreal would necessarily go for.
Yeah. Corki also would have fit well with that comp. but I think a good answer into the Xerath is the unfortunate case of, ooh, and I hate to say this, Static Shiv LeBlanc.
We do have a Jax blind pick for the side of LRE. Can get punished kind of easily if they do decide to go for a counter pick and not the standard, just like the Scion Meat Club into the Jax. So a little bit of a dangerous pick there, but if Jax can hit those power spikes, get those kills, can be very powerful. Poppy is being hovered, can stop the Jax from jumping in, and that is going to be Poppy locked in. It is a good matchup for the Poppy. Not the most insane, but you shouldn't really be dying to the Jax. And we do have
If they lock in the Ahri, they should feel pretty safe to lock in the Xerath.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter how fast an Ahri can roam once the Xerath hits level 6, because Xerath can just walk next to the blue buff and answer any roam that Ahri goes to, you know?
But I think there is a lot of kill pressure for the Ahri on the Xerath here, with the Charm, with the Hecarim being a very fast jungler. So if they do decide to go to Xerath, they're going to have to be very safe. And
but I mean, that's like what Xerath does, is play safe.
That is true. Ahri has been confirmed with that lock-in. We already saw one pentakill. Was it on Ahri? I believe so.
It was on an Ahri.
So will we see a second one, or will they break the streak of pentakills going on in BTL?
Ooh,
that
the
is
Cassante.
A Cassante mid. I am 90% positive that is a Cassante mid. Very interesting pick there, but very strong. You see it a lot in the LCS and in Korea and China. So
I know you're a big stan of the Cassante mid.
I do love Cassante. Not necessarily mid. I just like playing Cassante. He's a fun champion to play.
You're always begging our mid laner to go play Cassante for just about every game.
I'm also begging
our top laner, you want him to play Scion every game.
I'm also begging my mid laner to play Ahri, but he never does that either.
Hey, that's almost disgraceful playing Ahri. I would never see anybody play Ahri.
All right, now that we have both
just
comps,
cover her up with my hand as she's not on my screen.
Now that we have both comps fully locked in, who do you like more? What do you want to see out of these teams, and how do you want to see DS adapt, knowing that they're a game down?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's going to be hard for Cassante to pull off what he wants to do into the Ahri lane. If the Ahri knows knows her limits, knows her advantages, because in the current meta, Ahri is the best roamer in the game because she has just, in general, more wave clear than every other mid laner right now. So if you know how to play the champion right and correctly, she should just have infinite pressure just anywhere on the map, and the Cassante would never be able to follow up because he's playing Cassante. He can't like jump over walls unless he presses R. So it should just be a wash through the mid lane, I would think, but we'll have to wait and see.
Sorry, I had to fix some stuff with the production. It was a little bit unaligned there.
This guy.
But yes, I do agree. Ahri is very good at stopping at what Cassante wants to do. But if Cassante can ever get on top of that Ahri, that can be very dangerous.
Which he shouldn't.
For her.
Ahri just press R. Funny button has 3 dashes. I think it's virtually impossible for a Cassante to do what he wants into an Ahri lane. I don't know why they picked that. I think that's pretty grief.
I mean, if you look at pro play, Cassante actually was the answer into Ahri a lot of the times for pro play, and it just kind of neutralized the lane because he's super hard to kill, and even if you do connect the charm onto Cassante, he has a W to get out, so maybe they're just looking to make sure that Ahri can't get fed, and she's going to have to really be on top of her roams to get any kills. But it's super hard to roam
after they changed minion timings in the mid lane, that changed significantly.
No, well, the Cassante answer into Ahri was during the time that minions meeting in the mid lane got changed.
it's still gonna be really hard for the Cassante.
I do agree.
I don't
It is
know.
not the best matchup for Cassante.
What does Cassante do for an advantage over Ari?
Well, like I
You know?
said, he's neutralizing the lane. He can't really be killed by ganks because of his W, so he is making sure that Ari can't get fed through ganks or laning, and she's gonna have to rely a lot on her roams to get those kills rolling.
Which she is the best champion in the game at doing.
She is very good. She is the best champion at roaming, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna always confirm those kills, especially when you're playing against champions like Ezreal and Jax, who both have dashes to get further away from Ari. Poppy into Jax makes it a little bit harder for Jax to actually perform that, but it's going to be a large skill matchup between the roaming of the Ari and the neutralization of the Cassante mid.
Well, we're gonna have to see, and we will in just a second.
Yes, we will. All right, we are about to load into the Rift here. We will be right back here to cast the second game of LRE versus Dynasty Sapphire. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are on the Rift for game number 2 of LRE versus Dynasty Sapphire. Caleb, are you with me?
I'm with you and ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, 11, 12.
Yep.
All right, here we are. We have some pings going out. Potential invade with the Nautilus could be seen. They are stacking as 5. They're going for a top lane invade.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
If Jax isn't
Scared
careful
Jax.
here, Jax has
Jax
to be
is
careful
scared.
Here. Ooh,
30
Hecarim.
seconds until minions spawn.
They're gonna let the Nautilus lead. This could be a dead Jax here. Jax sees them. He flashes
Ooh,
over the
the
wall.
good flash.
Very well played, not greeting the flash there. So let's take a look at Summer spells. We do have double TPs coming for both teams. We have a double exhaust in the bot lane on Ezreal and Vel'Koz. I don't know if that was a miscommunication there, or if they really think that they need that double exhaust for the amount of damage coming out by Dynasty Sapphire.
The heck, the Nautilus is quite scary.
Nautilus has opted for Glacial Augment over Aftershock, so he has to be very careful with these engages, because if he does get poked out and then throws a bad hook, he doesn't have a way to get tankier.
Jack's taking a great trade up here in the top lane. That might be a kill. Never mind. That was close though.
Yeah, very well played there by the Jax. Nice quick bursts. Casante's going to struggle a little bit here until he gets some levels in the mid lane. Nautilus is trying to position in a way to get some hooks down. The hook does go wide on the Vel'Koz, but they should be hitting level 2 there first. Jax goes in. Poppy has to flash
Forcing a
out.
flash.
Very well played there by the Jax. That is a big timer to go down, especially with Jordan pathing to the top side. They could look to abuse the Poppy here.
Hecarim is also pathing bot lane, so it would be like an uninterrupted dive if they wanted to.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. We did get a bot lane shove early on, so they can possibly look for some wards, figure out where Jordan started. If they do decide to do that, but it doesn't look like that. They are playing with no fear right now.
I wouldn't, with the amount of pressure you get from a Nautilus Misfortune lane. You're gonna be having a winning lane basically the entire time.
A gank is happening in mid lane. Cassante tries to knock the Ahri back, but misses. The charm lands onto the Graves. Smoke screen goes down on top of Ahri. Ahri is being slowed right now. Ooh, nice dodges there. Cassante can't quite
She
hit
is
these
just
Qs.
gonna walk away.
Ooh, we have a little bit of a 2v2 possibly happening in the mid lane. Hecarim's just pathing top to make sure that they get this scuttle. So it's going to be an even trade of camps for both sides. Hecarim did opt to do his Krugs, so he's going to be a little bit of a level up for now.
I'm thinking this Hecarim's gonna want to be playing around the top lanes, considering the amount of pressure this Jack is exerting onto the Poppy. I feel like if he's just playing under the turret the entire game, especially as a Hecarim, you're gonna just have free reign over a Jax because you just press Q. He's not gonna be blocking your Q. It's not an auto attack.
Yeah, that is true. And on top of that, the Poppy can stop the Jax from lunging away, so it's very hard for him to get that safety.
But he's gonna back here. Probably get a Sheen, I'd imagine. It is his first back. Yep, there it is. He's got the funny damage item. He's gonna go a little crazy.
Jax TP is going out. Graves is currently in the topside jungle. Hasn't been spotted quite yet. I don't know if they saw him with that.
They could probably look for a dive if they really wanted to. That Jax is pretty big. But it does look like they're gonna go for the Ahri.
Yeah, Ahri does not have ulti yet. The Cassante gets the W on her to flash away, but gets caught by the Q, and that's gonna be first blood going
That was
over
a
to Graves.
great Q. Yeah, she's playing a little too aggressive for not being level 6.
Yeah.
They're pushing the lead while they can. That's great for this Cassante lane.
Oh, Jax is taking a little bit of a rough trade up top. Does lose the health war there, and Poppy has corrupting potions, so she's gonna heal a little bit more than the refillable pots.
I'd imagine that Dynasty would want to go for Drake here, considering the amount of pressure that bot lane has right now, but it looks like the Hecarim is gonna back instead of doing that.
Yeah, Hecarim does have to get a reset off, though, because Graves got his first reset, so he does have the damage advantage there. And I'm pretty sure Dynasty Sapphire knows that with the amount of pressure being exerted by mid and bot, it's going to be really hard for LRE to start this dragon. Unless the bot lane resets, and then in that case, Jordan can just start this for free.
They really want Jordan to have a free game, I think. Who needs objectives when you're just gonna kill, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that there's any good outcomes for those awkward reset timers.
Yeah, that is going to be first dragon going over to LRE. That is an infernal dragon. We have a 3-man potential dive in the top side. Jax has spotted this though, so Jax is going to walk away. A hook onto the Vel'Koz. Nice hook. Vel'Koz has to flash away. Nautilus doesn't quite get knocked up, but he does take a little bit of a harassment for that hook.
That was some big Ezreal damage.
Graves is here. If they push up without seeing Graves, oh, Graves starting the back. I feel like Graves can make a play here if he stays. But
yeah, probably.
But Jordan doesn't. They did get a pink ward into the try, so they spotted the ward. Cassante is looking for a fight onto the Ahri. A nice Q knock-up for a little bit of harassment. But Ahri does hit the
Ahri's right back. Now that she's level 6, she kind of can just step up like that. Without risk of punishment, because she just has 3 flashes in her kit, plus her normal flash.
Yeah, that she does. Hecarim has started up Rift, it looks like, so Graves being on the bot side. Oh no, Hecarim actually walked away. So
Ooh.
Getting a little bit of scared of Jax moving down. Vel'Koz and Ezreal both have moved up for a potential Herald play here, unlike the side of Dynasty Sapphire, so this might be a free Herald going over or a very weird contested fight. Cassante is backing, so I won't be surprised to see Cassante start pathing bot to match the push of Dynasty Sapphire.
Yeah, it's looking like Nautilus is gonna back here instead of trying to get some pressure back on the map with the turret platings also.
That's going to be Herald started up for LRE. So once again, a
and
lot
that's
of
just going to be
control.
so free for them.
Yeah, a lot of objective control going over to the side of LRE. Despite them being a few hundred gold down, they don't really care. They're just going to play the game how they want. They're going to take control of everything. Their movements are
LRE
absolutely
is
clean.
building pressure exactly when they should. That top lane, they pushed in the moment that he started pushing in the moment bot lane got to mid. And mid was there just in time to help push waves for their Cassante.
Ooh, Poppy might get engaged on it. Flash forward by the Jax. The Jax ulties. The Poppy tries to get him in and knocks up the
Ooh.
Jax, but doesn't get the trade kill. Jax lives with
that
1
was
HP.
such a good try.
And that's going to be Herald being dropped in the top lane. They're going to give solo plates over to Jordan. The Ahri is roaming up.
Once again.
Ahri is here. She does have ultimate. Can she get to the Jax in time? No, she doesn't quite get there. Ahri ults forward, trying to take a kill onto the Graves. A charm hits.
Ooh.
Is it enough to get the kill, though? A Q goes out.
Ooh.
Jordan flashes the Q and does survive.
Well, really well played from both parties there.
Oh, there could be a potential dive here. Hecarim is here, and he does connect the kill onto the Graves and get the shutdown.
Ooh.
So not looking too bad for LRE or for Dynasty Sapphire. They are giving a lot.
It's not
of
looking
objective
bad for
control.
either team right now.
Yeah, they are giving up a lot of objective control to LRE, which is a little bit unfortunate, but they are playing their early game much better. They don't have the fear of infinitely scaling Kindred to play against.
Yeah, they just have the fear of infinitely scaling Graves this time. MF has this quirky little problem of standing completely still. So, you know, a Graves can just walk up and one-shot her. And I'm assuming we're gonna be seeing that at least a couple times this game.
Yeah. Very dangerous playing 80 carry in today's meta.
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily. If you're playing Ezreal, and you're doing fine. You're doing fine in this meta.
Ooh, Jax goes in onto the Poppy. The Poppy does go in, but then we switch down to the bot side. Disintegration Ray going down onto the Nautilus, but Graves stops the Misfortune ulti, scares her away. The Hecarim ulti goes forward. Graves gets hooked, and that's going to be another kill going over to Hecarim.
Those are some great Nautilus hooks. Doing me proud.
Yeah, great counter ganks by the Hecarim as well. Graves can't really roll over the game if he always has to be stuck fighting this Hecarim.
And they're gonna get that dragon for free now.
This could be a dive happening topside. Poppy is super low. She does have the ultimate though, so Jax is a little bit wary.
I don't think Poppy's really that concerned. She's got to level up on the Jax. Can make sure that he can't jump out if things go haywire. So both junglers here have all of the kills.
Who can carry
And
harder?
I think kills are more valuable on a Graves than they are on a Hecarim personally. Especially with an Ezreal on one team and an MF on the other.
That is true, but the downside to playing Graves and Graves having all the kills is he's a very in-your-face kind of carry, and having a fed Hecarim and
So is
an
Hecarim.
Ahri. Yeah, but Hecarim does get slightly more tankier with the natural build that he goes. So it can be a little bit more dangerous for the Graves. And also you got to worry about the Ahri, because if a charm does connect onto the Graves, Graves can't auto-attack, and he'll just get blown up. Ooh, Ahri stepping forward a little bit. She does have the ultimate.
And there's
Graves
the
is going in.
charm.
Charm does connect.
Ooh!
And a nice, a nice all-out by the Cassante to get the Ahri back in. Ooh, but the Graves shot ultimate does miss. Can they catch this
missing
Ahri?
those, Jordan.
Charm connects onto the Cassante. Cassante is now deciding to fight Hecarim. The Hecarim ulti goes out to get the fear, but is it enough to get him away? Oh, and that is going to be a shutdown going over to the Cassante. Graves is here to chase the Ahri.
Cassante is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, and Poppy does stop the Graves chase. Hex flash over the wall, hook goes out, does connect onto the onto the Vel'Koz. Has to flash away to get out of the Misfortune ultimate. This could be a little bit dangerous here for the Ezreal, but his E does get him to safety. So once
Who
again,
do you think is performing peak right now. They're
Cassante, obviously.
better than the rest. You think it's the Cassante?
I think so. That all out was beautifully
That was
played by the
crazy.
Cassante. Forced the even with the Ari ultimate, his all out brought her back so far.
Yeah, he stopped all 3 of her ulti dashes. One with the knock up, one with a stun, and one with the all out. That was phenomenal.
Second Rift Herald is about to spawn. Less than 10 seconds. It is up. So Hecarim has started this up.
Looking.
This is the perfect time for him.
He does
to be
have top
looking.
and mid pressure.
Yes. This Poppy counter pick is starting to show. It's really hard for Jax to get into these fights that he wants to get into until he gets Divine Sundera complete.
And that's just gonna be a Rift Herald going over to Dynasty.
Ooh, nice Q by the Cassante. Cassante W's forward, but doesn't connect. Oh, does get charmed though. The Nautilus hook does go down. This Cassante could be dead. Gets the dash off to the Graves, but the Ari ulti does go out. Can she keep the chase? But no, the Graves damage is scaring the Ari away
It was
here.
a good try.
Oh my god, you were too far from left hand. Oh my god, you were too far from me.
Misfortune's here alone, but Hecarim's here to counter the tower dive if anything happens.
And Nautilus staying maybe a little too long in the mid,
Yeah, Nautilus has
especially
spotted.
now that he's getting spotted.
Yeah, Nautilus got spotted by the Graves. The Graves Smite goes down to slow the Nautilus. He is chasing with Ghostblade. Nautilus ulti goes out,
Oh,
and
that
it
was
does.
an awkward ulti.
If Nautilus ulted before flashing there, or at least not at the same time, that would have gotten him out.
Yeah.
But it was just a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because
Because of the flash, he was facing the wrong way, which made it so that the ulti took even longer to reach its target.
Yeah, the nice disintegration ray and roam up by the Vel'Koz to secure a kill on the Ari as well.
And Dynasty was looking to a good start earlier on in this game, and they're kind of losing that.
I still think that they have potential. They haven't lost too much, and they've gotten a lot of gold on the map
true.
to neutralize the kill lead.
The MF is farming very well this game, which is very good for them, considering the amount of damage output a lethality MF will do.
Yeah, that's going to be first tower going over to Misfortune. Graves and Cassante are here, but they are not going to be able to chase. The slows are just too much, along with Glacial Augment. The second dragon, or the third dragon of the game is up. We do have a Mountain Soul, and it's going to be dragon number 2 going over to LRE, unless Nautilus can maybe push them off while Hecarim tries to get up here.
Nautilus is scary enough. Let's go, team.
Herald is
Got the
dropped.
Herald
by
dropping
the
mid
Hecarim.
also.
That should be the
They're
dragon.
definitely going to have enough time to stop that, though, after taking the Drake.
Red team has slain.
The Herald should be able to get a charge off though, so they might be able to secure this tower with the Misfortune pushing power. Two-shot barrage goes down, and a fight does break out onto the Nautilus to start. Cassante goes in, but Jax is also 1v1 and getting this kill up top.
Ooh,
Hecarim
good
and
MF ult.
Misfortune ults, but it's not enough to get a kill. Ari's brought down super low. The Ezreal does connect the kill all out onto the Nautilus. That is going to be a dead knot by the Cassante. Misfortune does pick up a kill onto the Graves in response. And Cassante goes forward, hits the Q onto the Hecarim and secures the kill. He has another knockup ready to go, hits the Misfortune, and Misfortune has to flash away not to die. Very well played there by the side of LRE. They did lose their tower, but they've made that fight beautifully well and got a tower in response in the top lane.
They sure did.
Jax has hit the point where he doesn't care about Poppy anymore. That Divine Sunder just allows him to absolutely chunk her HP with that max health damage as well.
Absolutely. Next up on the ticket board is this Baron over here. I'm thinking they're not gonna get much top pressure, so I'm thinking it's just gonna go straight over to the Rat crew.
I mean, Poppy has been pretty on top of her game, getting pressure when she needs to get pressure. It is a little bit harder for her. Jax is very good at full armor stacking champions as well because of his mixed damage from his ultimate passive and his W.
They do still have the Cassante mid for some reason.
I think it's just to secure lane pressure while the rest of his team resets. He is TPing top.
Oh, he's using TP to go top.
No one's down there to match the Ahri though, except for the Graves. But if Graves has to be the one to match, that can open up an opportunity for Baron.
Yeah.
Jax has decided to move down, and Graves is moving up towards the Baron to clear some vision. Ahri could be a little bit of trouble
Fight on
here.
Ahri.
She does have her ultimate though, so a charm connects onto the Graves, a flash forward by the Jax, and that's going to be a solo kill onto the Ahri. This could be a potential forced Baron fight here if they want to look for it. They are putting pings on the map. They're trying to clear some vision.
Ahri may be overestimating her movement abilities there a little bit. Didn't wanna use her ultis right away. Thought she was out. Did not expect the Jax flash, I'd imagine.
That's going to be another
With
tower
that, they
for
probably
Jax.
just want to go for Baron.
It looks like they're committing to the split push instead. They're just trying to get some vision control. Hecarim's trying to stop the Jax. They see the Hecarim bot lane, and that means that the
Hecarim
ping's
is bot side.
Ping's going down onto
Absolutely.
the Baron. Hecarim's not going to be able to
Why
get
did
there
they
in
send
time.
Hecarim bot?
I don't know. RETP mid though. They're going to try to contest this. Poppy's moving forward with her ultimate, a
I
disintegration
don't
ray
think they.
on top
I don't
of
think they
Braxy.
can.
Ahri hits the charm onto the Vel'Koz, but cannot do anything with that. Jax is still bot. He doesn't have TP. Or no, he does have TP. It was Cassante that used it earlier. So Jax can get here at any time. Oh,
They maybe
Cassante
got off
going
the
in.
Baron
Cassante does connect
unnecessarily.
onto the Nautilus. Nautilus and Poppy are a little bit in danger. The knockup does connect onto the Poppy. Cassante's in a little bit deep, but he's not taking a lot of damage. All their damage is physical, and he has full armor stacking. True Shot Rock goes down, connects onto the Poppy, and a Misfortune ulti into a nice choke point there. A hook onto the Cassante, but Cassante doesn't die. He does use the All Out, but dies in response to the Hecarim ultimate. Poppy
Nautilus
pops the
gets
ultimate to
it.
get the Ezreal away, and Ezreal is now fighting alone with Vel'Koz. He is in a little bit of a danger spot. Hook goes out, but hits the
Ooh,
wall.
awkward Nautilus hook.
And Poppy is now trying to chase further in. Graves is there to push her away. And that was a little bit of a rough fight for LRE. Very well played there by Dynasty Sapphire.
Yeah, that was a really good Nautilus hook to keep the Cassante inside of the MF ult.
They do get spotted trying to reset. Pings onto the dragon, so it doesn't look like any Baron is going to be happening.
Yeah, I don't know why LRE got off the Baron there. It definitely was not necessary. They knew that the Hecarim was bot side and he wouldn't make it in time. Maybe they were just scared of the MF.
Very, very potential. That is a lot of damage coming out from Misfortune when they're stuck in such a tight pit if they can't stop her. And if she has the Ahri and Nautilus, it's going to be super hard to get to her.
But I mean, they definitely would be able to stop her. They have Vel'Koz knockup, they have Cassante, infinite CC.
True Shot Barrage going out, hits 3 members, and the flank there by the Jax gets a kill onto the Misfortune. Jax is going in deeper, trying to get this Nautilus killed. Flash forward by the Graves, and the kill goes over to the Jax. That is going to be Dragon number 3 going over to LRE, unless Hecarim can do a miracle steal. Cassante's trying to push them away, though. Ahri ults forward, misses the charm. Cassante pushes back. Hecarim's trying to chase in. Turns around to get on top of the Cassante. Ahri is still trying to look all out onto the Hecarim. The Cassante damage is going nuts, but the Poppy does CC chain him into the wall and gets him a kill. But they did secure Dragon during that. Hecarim ults forward onto the Graves. Graves gets absolutely nuked. Flash forward by the Ahri. Jax gets, again, pushed into the wall, and Graves does get the kill onto the Hecarim. But can they continue to chase? Poppy's trying. Disintegration Ray on top of Poppy to push them away.
And they get some kills and soul point.
Yeah, once again, LRE is playing the pressure game perfectly, and Dynasty Sapphire is struggling just a little bit whenever LRE is in position and ready to go.
Yeah, they're definitely. I'm noticing that a lot of teams this season are a lot more cautious. Definitely taking their time to pull the trigger when they definitely should not be doing that. If they see an opportunity to catch someone out, they definitely should be taking that.
Most likely first game jitters. A lot of these teams are new. Unlike the side of LRE, they're playing with a nice history of players who've been
Veteran
in BTL.
team.
Yeah, the veteran team here.
They've been in the trenches. They got their feet cut off.
Cut off.
Mm-hmm. They got trench foot. It's unfortunate, but it happens.
The drop barrage goes out, connects him to the misfortune, but he's just using that to push the wave and get that back up super fast with Qs.
Hecarim and Nautilus may be looking for something here. I don't know if those two would be able to do anything, but
there is potential.
possibly they're tanky enough for the MF to get there fast enough.
Cassante does not care about Ari's damage, might I add. All he has is Merc Treads, and the rest of his build is full armor.
Hey, I mean,
Ooh, a little
she's
nice.
building Leandries. She's building Leandries. He doesn't really need to worry about it because she's going to be doing damage whether he builds MR or not.
Cheeky gank onto the, to
Oh.
the Graves. The Poppy ult misses onto the Cassante, all out onto the Nautilus. Cassante's just trying to take out a support. Hecarim goes in onto the Hecarim and Vel'Koz just to run away. Can Cassante pick up the skill though? Oh, a nice hook
Oh,
onto
no,
the
he
wall by
can't.
there. Flash forward by the Cassante, misses the Q. And Ari's now chasing with the ultimate. The charm does miss.
This is going to end up being a 0 for 0.
A lot of cooldowns used there just result into nothing. If anything, LRE's coming out on top. They're getting a lot of pressure and getting the vision cleared. Hecarim is pushing mid with Ezreal attempting
I don't
to
know.
stop him.
I think in terms of sums used, that was definitely Dynasty favored. They used a lot more ultis on LRE's side also. I think that was just an awkward fight.
Well, they only used 2 ultimates on LRE versus the 3 used on Dynasty Sapphire.
I mean, I guess Ezreal ulti is low enough cooldown, but he did use it in that fight.
Oh, I thought he used it mid, but maybe I missed
He
it.
did use it mid. He just used it in the fight too. Yeah, I think maybe ulting the Nautilus over the wall there was a blunder.
Yeah, he couldn't quite connect the kill. Poppy and Cassante having a little bit of a wet noodle fight up in the top lane, but Cassante definitely does have a damage output increase against tanks. He has that max HP damage, and he's using the full force. A nice Q landing, Q after Q. Can this Poppy get away from him is the question. Cassante's
So
looking.
Cassante, the answer is no.
Yeah. Oh, a nice all out by the Cassante. This is going to be a solo kill going over to Cassante to stop the Poppy ult as well. Oh, Graves dashes forward into the bush, right into 2 tanks. He has to flash out. Hecarim multi goes in. Ari is there to chase as well. And the Vel'Koz's disintegration rate actually pushes him away and gets a kill onto the Hecarim. That should be Baron going down with no Hecarim up or alive. Misfortune ulti goes down, melts Jordan, but Jordan doesn't die.
Oh!
And Blissey General jumps over the wall to get a kill onto the Misfortune. And now he's on top of the Nautilus, gets another kill. And that's going to be Baron going over to the side of LRE.
This Jax is having the time of his life, just running down everybody, pressing Q, pressing W, getting every kill. They're also gonna get Baron.
That is Baron going over to LRE. They have a nice sizable 7k gold lead. Dragon is on the map. They are putting pings down. Their Dynasty Sapphire is still respawning. This should be Soul going over to LRE, and that is a Mountain Soul. Super good for Jax and Cassante. And even Graves, to be honest, he has a lot of armor stacking with his E. Poppy's
I mean,
looking.
it's gonna be a shield on everybody. It's gonna be good for everyone.
Yep, and that's going to be Dragon secured by the Ezreal. Very well played here by LRE. Now they have the potential to start looking for opening up the map, get those towers. The tier 1 mid is still there. Dynasty Sapphire is trying to get a reverse push into the mid, but the Baron is making it super hard for them to clear these waves. Poppy flashes forward onto the Vel'Koz. The hook connects onto the Vel'Koz.
Really good catch.
Now they're looking for a fight. They don't have the numbers advantage. Ari does teleport in and ults away.
That was a really good find from the Poppy.
Yeah, it does slow down the tempo just a little bit. They have the numbers advantage, but is it going to be enough to get through a Jax and Cassante, both extremely fed?
With this MF, maybe. I think she needs to build LDR ASAP, but she does have the cleaver, which will be helpful.
Yeah, she opted for the black cleaver. This is a little bit of an interesting misfortune build.
And I don't think I've ever seen it be built like this.
Yeah, Cassante gets hooked by the Nautilus. True Shot Barrage goes out, does miss. Now Cassante's in their deep misfortune ulti goes down, but it is not hitting anyone. Hecarim does get nuked by the Jax. Poppy tries to find the Ezreal, doesn't connect onto the wall, and Poppy's going to die to Jordan. They now get the charm down. Her Nautilus missed the hooks and gets punished for it. And this should be a possible inhibitor. Ezreal's getting a lot of poke down. They're super healthy right now. They don't have a misfortune ulti to stop this push. This could be a game-ending push right here.
I think that fight alone goes to show why LDR would be better than Black Cleaver, especially against a Cassante who's already reducing his own armor. You definitely want the percent HP.
Ari ults forward, gets the charm onto the Jax to get the
damage.
kill, possibly to stop the push. Ari does have ultimate, trying to make this game stay alive. Vel'Koz's Disintegration Ray goes out, pushes her back into the Nexus, and that's going to be game number 2 and the series going over to LRE.
Man, two very fast, quick series today.
Yeah, very well played there by LRE. A lot of highlights, a lot of highlight reels going over there with Jordan's Kindred. And honestly, I want to give props to the Cassante mid. He did work, and he made that pick look absolutely beautiful into that Ari.
I agree. But I think consistency over both games, I would give MVP to the Jax, Bussy General.
Yeah, Jax did play super well. He did struggle a little bit in that early game. Who did he play the first
I think
game?
he did very well on the Ornn. He did very well on the Jax. I think maybe Jordan was struggling a little bit this game, and the Shyvana was struggling a little bit the game before. But I think Bussy General,
Yeah.
the Senior Bussy, I think he was going a little crazy both games.
All right, we are going to pull Bussy into the Caster's Lounge thanks to Ito. So we'll be able to ask them what was going through their minds and how this is going to go down.
There he is.
What's up?
Oh, very nice intro.
Thank you. The raid boss music.
Yeah, well, congratulations on
yeah.
your win. We were very impressed with the Ornn gameplay the very first game, and that Jax, after the little bit of an early game struggle, you did manage to pop off and absolutely carry the split push in that game.
He was going pretty crazy in the early game.
Yeah, it was the level 1 I had to blow my flash, but I was really telling him, I was like, I don't want to Q ward hop because this lane is going to be built on just a level 1 cheese with stun. And that's exactly what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Got the Poppy flash early.
Yeah, so how do you feel about the Ornn and Sion matchup? Is that something that you've always done? I know that Ornn is a super powerful top lane, and that you played it super well, absolutely getting the Sion on your back, or not on your back, on the floor, and getting kill after kill. He did outplay you a little bit with his ultimate, but how did you feel about the matchup?
Yeah, I died one time from the Silico. I fell under tower, and he CC'd me with his ulti. So, I mean, well played to Ford. But, yeah, you usually want to play that matchup because the whole time he's charging his Q, if you time it, you can just use your W for, like, the whole duration. And he either has to cancel it early and miss damage in the stun, or you end up not getting stunned and you're percent max health. Like, I'm maxing W that game. So, like,
Yeah.
I'm just shredding him with all that max health damage.
Yeah, and how
And then,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we were running the poke comp, so I didn't need to build like Jack show, so I was like, just go Radiant Virtue, support my artillery.
Yeah. How did you feel about your drafts going into those games? Were they what you guys expected? I don't know if you guys did any draft practice, but is it kind of roughly how you guys planned out the games to be going?
Yeah, so we have UBC or Bad Connection mainly doing like draft and shot calling, and we were trying to make it with like a carry bot lane, but we were like, we're gonna try and switch it up and go for more like a poke style. So I forget the draft orders for the first draft, but I think once we saw the Kiana locked in, we were like, okay, so there's no shot they can like really engage on us if we just stand back, and we're just gonna like play real far back with the carries and just poke them down, and that's exactly what happened. Game two, our draft, we felt like our draft was a little more scuffed. I mean, we wanted the Jax pick for me because that is something I play, but the Cassante was kind of just to neutralize mid and provide a front line because if we had like a mage, then I'm the only like melee champ on the team, and Jack's solo front line is like really grief.
Very true.
But yeah, no, honestly, I would shout out your bad connection, man's drafts, and in-game shot calling. He keeps us on track.
Yeah,
Gotta love that.
your back connection is a veteran at BTL, very solid 80 carry player, and from what we're hearing, a very great shot caller and draft leader. Caleb, do you have any questions for Bussy General?
Yeah, other than UBC, you got any shoutouts? Any fans
Shout
at
out to
home you want to
Jungle
talk to?
Jordan fan club keeping us strong in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Stevie Wonders, our resident support. Our boy Red
The
Strike was
resident
a little
Vel'Koz
caught up
player.
today. Yeah, I mean, we didn't think they'd let him have it, but we were like, they're gonna take one look at these guys, OPGG and be like, no shot, and then they let us have it.
They also
Honestly, we
gave you
really did
guys the
put in work.
Kindred.
Yeah, they gave us the Kindred Graves. We were like, we're gonna make it so that they either ban one or the other. I was surprised I was pulling Garen bans because, I mean, I see it on like my OPGG, but I was like, I mean, it's Garen, like I don't
Yeah, it
know.
was a little bit of an awkward one. We were expecting a Xerath ban, but they banned the Garen instead.
Yeah, I think after you see the Ezreal Vel'Koz, you're not expecting like another artillery mage, especially when your plan is to go Ari. Like they wanted to have some kill pressure mid, just to try and prevent some like immobile mage from going mid. So they had a little more kill pressure. It would have pretty been hard. Would have been pretty hard on Xerath this game to do that mid, especially like Hecarim dive, a Nautilus roam, stuff like that.
Oh, one more question. How do you feel it? Because you did blind pick the Jax game too. Were you concerned about getting like hard counter pick there, or is it a pick that you're so comfortable with that you can play it into almost any matchup? Hello?
Jackson anything. I would take Jackson at any matchup. That's like
Hold on.
I mean it's just a safe pick for me.
Can you
Like that's when champion.
can you restart? I cut out there for some reason. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I was just saying, yeah, I'll take Jackson to pretty much any matchup just because I know bare minimum like Poppy is actually really good into Jax. You kind of neutralize him, but the thing is, a lot of Jax's counters don't like dog him in lane. They just kind of neutralize him. So if I can just kind of farm it out, go a little bit less aggressive build, take some more defensive runes, then I can just kind of farm up and scale safely, and then I'll be able to provide for the team.
All right. Well, I think that's going to conclude it for our interview. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to all those
you guys
BTL.
played really well.
Thank you to all those BTL supporters out there. The Jordan fan club carrying Lexi's rat.
Jordan, let's go.
And
Thanks for having me. GG's Dynasty Sapphire. Good luck out there.
Yep, congratulations on your win, and I'm going to swing it off to the post-stream music. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and I hope you guys have a good night.
Voice prompt activated.